Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you to our June 4th, 2024 general meeting. If everyone could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic. Thank you.
Trustee Maribel?
Present.
Trustee Mitchell? Trustee Middleton? Trustee Njenga? Trustee Gale? Trustee White? Trustee Saunders?
Here.
VP Kelly?
Here.
And President Kerwin?
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. Would like to, first thing on the agenda tonight, to present awards to the scepter. Miss Ent from Chaphagen School. District-wide.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Bianca Lopez. I am the Special Education PTA President. Thank you. We have a presentation that is hopefully going to be queued up about our district-wide autism acceptance event that took place in April. So. Yes. Oh, great idea. But while we're waiting to show everyone the slides of the great work that we did, and actually, let me introduce the members and our executive committee that's here today. Corinne Lewak, who is the secretary. Catherine Santoro, who leads the Autism Acceptance Committee. And Don Emerson, who also leads the Autism Acceptance Committee. So as part of the Autism Acceptance Month, we had a bunch of activities that took place in April. One was a district-wide board contest and essay contest. So we want to honor some of the young people who were awarded as our first inaugural contest for Autism Acceptance Month. The first is Alicia Gordon.
Really quick, let's come over here and express.
Can you hold it? Thank you. I need my paper. I need my paper.
What?
My papers.
Oh, the paper. She needs her paper.
My name is Alicia Gordon, and my poster is all about autism. The picture of the kid taking a toy from another kid is mostly about people with ASD may behave, communicate, and learn in ways that are different from most people. The behaviors are different and how they act. The pink. Autism can be found through genetic testing or by observing ASD-related behavior. The orange. Boys are 5 times as likely to have ASD than girls. It affects 1 in 36 children in the United States and about 40% of children with ASD do not speak.
You did great. Good job. You did well. You did well.
So we're really so proud of all these kids that really put effort into thinking about what does autism acceptance mean to them. We're not just trying to fit in, they want to accept everybody. And they did so amazing. They put their feelings, their heart into it, so thank you. And thank you to Dave and Buster's. They gave a $50 gift card to these 3 students, so we're very excited. So this is one of them. So we have 2 more up. So let's give the other 2, and then also we gave a class party for the bulletin board. So we're so proud of all these people.
The next, yes. Thank you. The next student is Monique Gath. And she's here. Monique Gath. Yeah.
I could talk to the mic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to say a few words? Say thank you, or what did you learn from your project?
Thank you so much for the $50 gift card, and it was a lot of hard work for this autism project. I put like a lot of hard work into it, and I'm so happy that I get a reward for the hard work that I'm doing. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much.
All right. The next student is Kalia Young. Kalia Young. Sorry, Kalia Young. Here you go, Kalia. Thank you so much.
Autism spectrum disorder is a developmental disability which causes thinking differently in the brain. Autism affects social interactions, communication, and sensory processing. Scientists believe that there are many causes of autism that act together to change the way the brain develops. Genetic factors may contribute 40 to 80% of the people who have autism. The behavioral symptoms often appear early in development, 12 to 18 months of age. There are many ways I could include a person with autism in my everyday activities. First, I went on YouTube and searched how to better communicate and understand autistic individuals. That way, we both feel comfortable together. I learned that when we are having a conversation, even if they do not make eye contact with me, that does not mean they are not listening. Also, when we are talking, they may get too close to me because personal space is sometimes hard for them to understand. I also have to remember that people with autism don't always have a filter, so they may say things that are inappropriate, but I shouldn't take it personally. In the initials ASD, the S stands for the word spectrum because there are many ways autism affects people. So some autistic children cannot speak, while others can speak. If I met someone with autism that could not speak, I would speak to them and they could answer using pictures. I've learned that their behavior may be repetitive. For example, if they were hitting themselves or biting themselves, I would go to an adult for help. I would also teach them some breathing exercises to help calm them down. To make social interactions more inclusive, I would find out what activities my friends are interested in by asking them or their family members. I would plan play dates and invite my friends with autism. For example, I could include board games, puzzles, and sensory stimulating activities. I would also invite them to take part in group activities with my other autistic friends and encourage everyone else to do the same. That is how I would make an autistic person feel included.
So we don't want to take up very much more of your time since we don't have the presentation queued up. We just wanted to thank everyone who assisted us in making this a successful community event. Special thanks to the Mount Vernon Federation teachers, members, teachers assistants, and security who gave us the funds to make the Autism Acceptance event happen and volunteered their time for the events. Thank you. We would also like to thank the PTA Council President, Latoya Anderson. We'd like to thank Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, the Gamma Xi Zeta Chapter, administration, secretaries, we appreciate your support. And we also, special thank you to the retired special education supervisor, Teresa Scott, who donated over 100 water bottles for all of the children who attended the event. One more prize. We just also wanted to let you know that Mrs. White's class, yes, Mrs. White's class created a special autism acceptance school bulletin board, and for that they are going to get a pizza party. And a special plug, we will have more fundraising, more events, so please join SEPTA. And we will we'll have plenty more and more visibility for next year. And we wanted to thank you all. Do you guys want to say a special message?
We do. Thank you. On behalf of Trapegan School and Class 5W, it is such a privilege to work with our students every day, and they just wanted to share their thanks and for their hard work and effort with their bulletin boards.
Thank you for choosing our Class 5W from Trapegan School as the winners of this year's Autism Awareness Bulletin Board contest. We wanted to create awareness and show that together we are a part of this community and that acceptance is important. The rainbow infinity sign is a symbol of neurodiversity for many members of the autism community. The rainbow colors represent the entire autism spectrum, which is full of wonder and opportunity.
As a class goal, our goal is to share with everyone in our district that applicants can meaningful and change. When we make positive changes at school, we can make the better lives for students on spectrum. One small change leads to one less child being bullied or one less parent feeling unwelcomed and more accomplishments given to individuals in needed.
It is okay to be different. Be kind, be supportive. People with autism are truly gifted. They are talented, magnificent, and smart. Their smiling faces warms everyone's heart. So extend a hand. Say a kind word. Being different is interesting. Make a friend. Make a difference in the world. Thank you again for this award.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for your time. Have a good evening.
Next up, we have our student trustee, Anna De Leon.
Good evening, everyone. As you all know, my name is Anna, and I am student rep. I wanted to say that a few words since I'm graduating soon. I have committed to SUNY Oswego for biochemistry, and I'm very excited. When I first came to Mount Vernon, I wasn't sure where I belonged, but I came to find a home here with time. I was lucky to find mentors that shine a light on my potential and help me grow as a person. Dr. Pierce has shown me the capabilities of a kind, strong-hearted, and persevering woman, and I could only hope to become such one day. I am grateful to have been given this opportunity and have learned a lot about the needs of our community and the different resources that we offer, which in turn has helped me raise awareness among my peers. Seeing so many members of our community stand up for what they believe in and putting their feet down about our education was truly a wonderful feeling, and we all are blessed to have them. I'd like to give a special thank you to beautiful Miss James, who has always been so patient and kind to me. And of course, Superintendent Smith and President Kerwin, as well as the rest of the trustees members who have always been considerate of me and encouraged me to speak up during my time here. Mr. Ramundi and Mr. Simmons, there are just some faces that I see and make me feel reassured. I know I haven't been very present this year. Nobody really warns you about how hard senior year can be. I hope that has never been mistaken for ungratefulness, because my heart is brimming with gratitude, truly. Thank you all.
There is no legal requirement to recognize public comment at meetings of the Board of Education. However, the board recognizes the critical importance of community discourse and involvement in the education of Mount Vernon's children, and accordingly, members of the public are invited to speak at each regularly scheduled board meeting, subject to the terms of the board policy. Please state your name, address, and the organization, if any, you represent. A speaker must register in advance by no later than 4 p.m. the day of the meeting by contacting the district clerk in person at 165 North Columbus Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York, by phone at 914-665-5235, or by email. The board welcomes all respectful comments, whether praise or criticism. However, identifying and criticizing a specific student, parent, teacher, administrator, other Mount Vernon education official, or employee is strictly prohibited. Any such complaint must be presented and addressed through the proper administrative channels. Each speaker is allowed 3 minutes to speak. Up to 1 additional minute may be used for the speaker to summarize and conclude their remarks. If appropriate, board trustees and/or the superintendent or other staff members at the direction of the superintendent may immediately respond to a speaker's remarks. Our first speaker tonight is Brenda Crump.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to start off with my disappointment in board leadership and/or administration who made the decision last board meeting to limit the capacity and not move to a larger location. In all my years of being on the board or being in the community or coming to speak, I'm not aware of anything ever happening like that. And as I always say, that trustees, you're the ones who make the decision. And when you're running to be elected, you want to hear from everyone, everybody. You'll go to cottage parties, people, churches. If they have 20 people lined up, UBC or Fleetwood or Association or Fleetwood Citizen Association, any association, if they had 20 people lined up and it was election time, you'd sit and you'd listen to all 20 people. So, but then after you get elected, the appearance is you don't want to then listen to the people, and I'm very disappointed in that. And then to use a clicker system, so not to move to a larger location, which is what is usually done, and we have plenty of schools with larger location, but then to use a clicker system, and then not keep account of people coming out, but people going in. So when people leave, people are still not allowed to come in. That's just not a way to treat your community, your staff, your parents, your teachers, students, because there were all those people that fit into those categories that was outside waiting to come in. I want to talk about, I also heard, as I was coming in, I heard from someone that public speaking was limited tonight to 30 minutes. As a former board member, I'm going to ask who made that decision to limit the comment. Please tell us. And as a former board member, I am aware that that's not an isolated individual board member decision. That's the decision of a board as a whole. The board is asked if they will waive the policy. Any policy that's going to be waived or changed in any kind of way is put before the board. So if there were more people that signed up to speak, no one should have been turned away. We have to stop treating our community like this. And our staff is here. They want to talk, but yet we say during Staff Appreciation Week, Teacher Appreciation Week, that we appreciate them. Actions speak, talk is cheap. I want to leave off with, just in case I don't have time, I want to say that this quote, I've learned that people will forget what you say, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Is a quote by the American author, poet, performer, and civil rights activist, Maya Angelou. I have a little bit more time. I will go into the 0% property tax levy. 0% property tax levy are generally people who, I call it an incumbent-induced 0% tax levy. When incumbents are running, then they want to produce a 0% tax levy. I'm a homeowner, I'm a widow, no, I don't want to pay any more taxes, but I do want to invest in our children, the children. I no longer have any children in the school district, but I still want to invest in the children that remain in the school district. I still want to invest in the staff that remain in the school district. Some have retired and gone since my children have graduated and been in the system, but I'm a homeowner, a taxpayer, registered voter that vote, and I want to invest. We have to invest in our children. As a community, parents, teachers, seniors, homeowners, businesses, etc. We have to be willing to invest monetarily in our children.
Ms. Crump, if you could just wrap it up, please. Your time is up.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
So lastly, to say, even to our teachers, you want money for contracts. If you're a resident of Mount Vernon, you pay taxes, you have to invest monetarily in the children and in yourselves. Thank you.
So, Ms. Crump, I just want to say, you asked about the policy for the duration of the public speaking that we cut down tonight. Back in 2006, it was written, the code 3220, that's the policy back in 2006, that says public speaking is limited to 30 minutes. However, we've been leaving up to about an hour, 2 hours. But since tonight, we have tenure, and we have over 70 or 80 participants we decided to cut it down to 30 minutes. So hope you and the others would understand,
So my
just for the sake of time.
Yeah, my question would be, who's we? You're saying we, and because that's a decision that's done publicly. So for example, if people sign up, they shouldn't be turned away. If you have the policy, then you state what the policy is, but then the board, any member or any public can then say, ask that the policy be waived, and that's a board decision, not an individual person decision, and people still should not have been turned away. That opportunity to
Ms. Plum,
not waive
I wanna-
it should have been before the community.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Laura Fishlock Calero.
Good evening to every attendee of this meeting. Your presence proves that there is love and dedication to the students of Mount Vernon. I found myself genuinely saddened by last month's special board meeting and felt that even though up to this point I have been content to let the titled members of our union represent myself and my colleagues, this demonstration took us beyond my restraint. I especially want to address the comments made by a district representative in which he said, "When students see you act out of the ordinary, it is unsettling." I agree. It can be unsettling to see things out of the ordinary. And I know every teacher on the roster of every building is saddened to that our students have to see us loudly and publicly discussing our grievances. But that is more an indication of what a sordid state we are in as a district than it is an indictment of union behavior. As I ruminated on that statement, I began to question what it is exactly that should be ordinary behavior for a staff member of any of the schools in our small but proud district. I stand before you today with deep appreciation for the dedication and hard work that each and every one of our staff members brings to our school community, including the Board of Education and the members of the district level administration. It's no secret that our staff members frequently find themselves undertaking tasks that extend far beyond the scope of their ordinary contractual duties. From assuming administrative roles as lead teachers within departments that don't have additional compensation for them, to willingly chaperoning trips and events at personal expense, and even substituting for unfilled positions without pay. Our staff consistently demonstrates an unwavering commitment to the well-being and success of our students. Is this acting out of the ordinary? Moreover, many of our colleagues shoulder overwhelmingly large caseloads for special education students, at times exceeding 100 students that they must review prior documentation for, discuss progress with teachers, counselors, family members, and the students themselves, and develop new plans for without receiving the proper compensation of time for the effort invested. Is this acting out of the ordinary? Staff provide not only education, but also clothing, food, supplies, counseling, and entertainment for our students, often out of their own pockets and without seeking acknowledgement. This is not said because we would like a stipend for our generosity, but because I would like clarification. Is this acting out of the ordinary? In addition to these challenges, our staff faces the constant influx of new initiatives and requirements from administration, often without adequate training or preparation time. Yet, despite these obstacles, our team continues to persevere, spending time away from our families and beds to research and develop our practices to include the new parameters. Is this acting out of the ordinary? So how should the ordinary look in Mount Vernon? While it is commendable that our staff members willingly take on these responsibilities out of their deep commitment to our school community, it's imperative that we recognize the toll that these demands can take. We must ensure that our staff is adequately supported financially, emotionally, and with appropriate time for preparation, and that their contributions are acknowledged and valued. That is how we should act ordinarily. What else should ordinary look like? It should look like a district full of excitement and trust, where students are given the most engagement and rigor we can dream up for them, along with the appropriate amounts of support the staff needs to realize these dreams. It should look like a district where staff members from every aspect of the running of the schools are equal shareholders in the future. It should look like News 12 showing footage of smiles and marvelous ingenuity happening in our schools, rather than people acting out of the ordinary in order to feel at all noticed. In short, our ordinary should be the very definition of extraordinary education. Thank you.
Laura Dupree.
Thank you. My name is Laura Dupree, and I'm speaking to you this evening as a proud member of the Mount Vernon Federation of Teachers. A good administrator remembers what it was like to be a teacher, and a good teacher remembers what it was like to be a student. And anyone who is not in the field of education most certainly remembers the best teachers he or she had while in school, because it is those teachers who leave a mark on a person's life. Teachers make a difference. Teachers change lives. We wear many hats, act in various capacities, and fulfill many roles. On any given day, a teacher does so much more than execute lesson plans and impart skills necessary for passing state exams. We listen to problems, guide and advise, keep our doors open for students during prep and lunch periods to offer safe spaces for them to just be. Teachers give up precious time meant for planning and grading assignments so that we are available to support our students. Schoolwork gets taken home to finish because it so often gets put aside during the school day so that students who needed us could be given our undivided attention. I mentioned earlier that teachers change lives. Here are some examples of what that looks like. Our students regularly come back to visit us, share with us their accomplishments, and thank us for our dedication and assistance in making those accomplishments possible. We have a graduate of 10 years ago who became an English teacher and author. In her book, the former student wrote about a particular teacher whose name I have omitted. Taylor writes on pages 117 to 118, "When I first told her that I wanted to become an English teacher, she gave me advice and encouragement and assured me not only could I do it, but that I could excel at it. Even after I left her class, she continued to be there for me and provide guidance. She doesn't know this, but during my interview I spoke about her, the experiences she afforded me, and how she was the primary source of inspiration to me becoming a teacher. To this day, my boss remembers hearing this story during my interview and expresses how amazing it was. When anyone asks what made me become a teacher, my teacher's name has and will always come up. I am forever grateful for her lasting impact." There are hundreds of stories just like that one that haven't been published in a book. For instance, walking down the hallway last year, I watched a group of recent graduates embrace two of our teachers, and I heard one of them say, "Thank you for never giving up on me." Every year on Facebook, a student who graduated 14 years ago posts a question during Teacher Appreciation Week, asking, "Who is the most influential teacher you've ever had?" Some of our graduates type a name, but others take the time to explain why. I've read things like, "She chased me down the hall to make sure I went to class." "He was so strict, but damn, he was so right." "She never let me get away with anything, and I would have never graduated without his help." These examples, and so many others like them, demonstrate the value of a good teacher. We are not asking for anything we don't deserve. Our goal is simply to negotiate a fair contract that reflects the value that we, the teachers, add to the Mount Vernon City School District and the children we care so deeply for. Thank you.
Ellen Hanny Salagumba.
Good evening. My name is Ellen Hanny Salagumba. I'm a teacher and a union rep at Traphagen School. I'm also a product of Mount Vernon School System. Good evening to the members of the board, the Mount Vernon community, and to my fellow MVFT members that are here with me tonight. I want to first congratulate those that are receiving their tenure this evening. It is an important milestone in your teaching career, and we applaud you for reaching this goal. And to the students that were speaking and receiving awards tonight, we are so proud of you. I want to take a few minutes to talk about the teachers, teaching assistants, and security officers that we have in this district and why we deserve a fair and equitable contract. We have some amazing, dedicated teachers and teaching assistants in our district, many of whom give tirelessly of themselves. We reach into our own pockets. We provide emotional and academic support beyond the normal scope of our day. The students we teach often go on to do amazing things in their lives. They become professional athletes, meteorologists, actors, authors, artists, and musicians, entrepreneurs, lawyers, architects, like my sister, also a product of Mount Vernon School System, doctors, nurses, and yes, even teachers. Remember COVID? 4 years ago, our world came to a screeching halt. Schools and businesses shut down, and people were suddenly faced with so many uncertainties, including how do we keep our children from falling behind? Suddenly, people realized how challenging being a teacher or teaching assistant was, as they were faced with trying to work from home and get their children logged online for classes. Remember? It took Mount Vernon teachers only a few weeks to learn multiple new learning platforms and programs like Schoology, Nearpod, Prodigy, and countless others, with little or no training, while staff in neighboring districts had little or no contact with their students. And yet those same districts received fair and equitable contracts. Time and again, over the next 3 years, Mount Vernon teachers proved how resourceful and how dedicated we are. We spent hours learning, teaching, and helping our students in a myriad of ways that I do not have time to go into detail about. On social media and news, you heard and saw videos of parents touting the praises of teachers, and you heard over and over again, we do not pay teachers enough. We did it while our own children were learning right beside us with their teachers, struggling with Wi-Fi, sick family members, and the uncertainty of our own future. And we literally worked 14 hours a day. Because at that point, our children needed us. Well, now we need you. We need our community to help. To please let our school board and acting superintendent know that we deserve a fair and equitable contract now. One that will help us hold on to our seasoned teachers who have been through COVID and back. One that will attract new teachers that are eager to teach the next generation. And one that will protect the future of our children of Mount Vernon. What we didn't need or deserve was a slanderous email to the school community telling them that we, the teachers, made the students feel threatened. These same students that we teach, we nurture, we support, and fight for every day. What our students didn't deserve was to log onto their computers and see a statement about their teachers being threatening towards other students, especially when that was untrue. Ask anyone that was in the room that day. All we asked for was a fair and equitable contract and a comparable salary to our surrounding districts and a little respect. Thank you.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. District Clerk? Madam President, I'm right here. Madam President, can we take a quick show of hands? How many people in the room wanted to speak but was turned away because of the shortness and the timing? Okay. Is there a way that we can take a vote, just us, to let them speak tonight? It's not that many of it. I think we should be able to take a vote on that to, yeah, it's not even that many people. Can we? If we were taking a vote now, I'm asking if we could take a vote now, so I would think that would need an answer now, yes.
Okay, so let's get through the speakers, and then we would decide.
All right, so that
So we
doesn't
will
mean that we're going to get through and then...
So we're going to call the next speaker.
Okay, I'll wait till then, and I'll ask again.
Thank you.
Karen Reynolds. Karen Reynolds.
Lynn Fortuna Wick.
Good evening. My name is Lindsay Fortunowitz. I am the Vice President of Hamilton Elementary School PTA, and I am here to support the teachers and staff at Mount Vernon City School District. I'm going to start by this, speaking on a personal level, that the Board of Education should clean house. Because there are employees here that fail to do their own jobs. I personally had to deal with this. My daughter had had surgery back in January. I notified the district back in October with the proper paperwork and everything needed with proper correspondence. The district employees never put my daughter in the system as medically homebound, never sought out a tutor for her or anything of that nature until the end of February. But prior to that, the only correspondence I did receive was a letter from the Board of Ed saying that CPS was going to be called to my door due to the fact that she was absent. So whose fault is that? It's not mine. Okay, so once I've got that letter, I've started again to go after the Board of Ed. And what happened? No response. The teachers and staff at Hamilton Elementary had my back, supported me, and finally got my daughter as medically homebound, where she did receive a tutor at the end of February, only for it to abruptly stop right after Easter. When my daughter was cleared to go back to school, her doctors informed us that she would need an aide to help her and sister around the building. I once again provided all documentation to the Board of Ed. And what happened? No correspondence back. So what happened? The teachers and staff at Hamilton pulled together and managed to pull TAs out of their own classrooms in order for my daughter to get back her education. These are things that the teachers in Mount Vernon should not have to worry about. They should not have to worry about that they're short of staff to help these children that need it. I am in the schools every day to make sure these kids are okay and they're good. I go in the classrooms and I help out as much as possible. Why? Because I care. Not just because I am part of Hamilton School PTA, not just because my kids are in the building. No, I go to the classrooms because I know they need help. These teachers put their all into it, spend their own money. And what do? You guys pay 2 superintendents for what? For what? I didn't know it took 2 of you to run the Board of Ed. 2. Okay, these are things that should be changed. You want to do superintendent for a day? Why don't you take a good look and go be a teacher for the day? I bet none of you can handle these children and what's going on in the schools. I bet you can't. How much you in the bet? You guys have forgot how to teach if you ever did teach. If you want to call spade a spade, honestly. You want to do superintendent for a day, be a teacher for the day. Take the money out of your pocket and put it into the classrooms. Because how many times have I done it? I've done it as a parent and put money into these classrooms for these kids. It's not fair. And I'm going to end it with this, and it's a quote from Dr. Seuss, okay, from the movie The Lorax. Unless someone like you cares an awful lot, nothing's going to change. It's not. And you know what? The ones that care are these teachers. And they're the ones that want change, and the ones that don't care is you guys.
Andrea Seawall. Okay, you're Andrea, right, Seawall?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Keith McCall, and I'm the president of the Mount Vernon Federation of Teachers. Everyone knows why we are here. Mount Vernon Community School District family, we are in a very precarious situation. The reason is there is no labor peace in this school district, and it's affecting everyone. Let me give you a few facts. The fact that there's no labor peace in the school district is having an impact that is negative on everyone in the district. Another fact, MVFT members act in a professional manner despite not having a collective bargaining agreement in place for almost 2 years. Another fact, the following districts have had collective bargaining agreements that have been ratified within the last 2 years. UFT in New York City, Brewster recently, last week, Haldane 2 weeks ago, Peekskill last year, Portchester, New Rochelle, Yonkers. Why not Mount Vernon? Months ago at the Board of Education, when I spoke, I indicated that the largest, most important factor in a child's growth is the teacher, and everyone agreed with that. However, MVFT members are not being treated as so. Now, the district has presented pitiful percentages in terms of negotiating our salary. The time is now for that to change. The time is now for board trustees to stop making statements to the public inferring that members of the MVFT are acting unprofessional. The time is now for the school district to stop limiting the amount of people who can come into a public school board meeting. Simple solution, hold the meetings in a location that can accommodate all members of the community. The time is also now for school district negotiators to define what fair is. The time is now for the acting superintendent to become more involved in the negotiation process. The time is now for the school district to get its fiscal finances in order. You cannot continue to use your lack of finances as an excuse for not giving our members a fair contract. With that being said, it is my hope that we can all come together and get this done for the good of everyone. Thank you for your time.
Vernon James.
Good evening, Board Trustees. Good evening, teachers. Good evening, fellow Mount Vernon citizens. My name is Vernon James. I'm a 50-year resident of Mount Vernon. I'm on Lincoln Avenue on Esplanade, so I'm going towards the high school. I want to make some comments on the May 7th meeting, some questions on the May 7th meeting. There was a portion of the meeting where Dr. Swift-Gabaton had reported on all the various colleges that our graduates were going to. I don't recall ever hearing exactly how large the graduating class was, how many children are actually going to college, and what are the plans for the children that are not going to college. Is there some kind of workforce program that they could go into, or what is the next step for them? That was number one. Number two, with reference to that same meeting, the 7th, we were talking about Title I funding. It was just said that we have Title I funding. I don't recall a number to the Title I funding or how that Title I funding was going to be distributed within the programs of the school. The third thing I want to pull out of that meeting also, I don't know about for today because I can't hear you today because you haven't spoken yet, but the microphones, we could not hear you. So it was, and I was sitting in the second row. So we couldn't hear you. When the meeting was canceled, I was there. I was in the hallway. I didn't even know the meeting was canceled until I spoke to the cameraman. I saw people moving about and this and that. So when I came to the following meeting on the 23rd, and I hear all these people talking about the text or the email, I couldn't understand it because there was no disruption there as far as I saw when I got there. Nobody looked scared, and I knew that Channel 12 News was there. So if you're sending out this email that there was such bad behavior, the media was there to see that it wasn't. So that's really bad business. And the last thing about moving to places. 1994, they were going to make homeschool the pre-K school for the district and have all the students from all over the district come to homeschool, bus them. We're talking about pre-K students. Mr. Charvey, who was then the principal, called his teachers and had his teachers call their parents. There were 400 people at the board, and it was moved to homeschool. So I don't understand not having your community, not having your teachers have the ability to speak. I've been in board meetings where we were there until 1 o'clock in the morning. So I don't understand, and taking care of the district's business. So like I said, my question is about Title I funding. My question is about how many graduates there are and where they're going and who's not going to college, what we're doing about them. And I got one more. This hasn't been approached yet, but with Denzel Washington School, if we are making artists, if we're making creatives, where is the end of the road for them? What do you have when they come out of Denzel Washington School? Are they being trained to go down to New York or go wherever? What are they doing for those creatives? Thank you, and I yield my time.
Jennifer Renetsky.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Renitsky. I'm a reading specialist at Trapphagen School, and I have worked in Mount Vernon for over 20 years, and I am a proud member of the MVFC. The professionals you see here tonight in blue share a commonality. At some point in their life, they answered a calling. They understood that their life's work was teaching. Unfortunately, our work is often overshadowed in our district by a host of issues that constantly impact the teaching and learning environment. When the district purchases new programs, teachers are often told at the last minute, do not receive adequate professional development prior to the implementation, don't always have all the resources they need because the complete program isn't always purchased, and usually are left to teach themselves how to implement the program, and still we come to work. This year, the district decided to write a new curriculum. The curriculum was not written in time for the school year and is still not completed. Teachers started using the curriculum and then had to wait to find out what to do next when they were done teaching that part, because the rest was unavailable, and still, we come to work. We have been forced to endure payroll issues where some staff received $0 paychecks, where pension, health, and tax deductions were not made, and staff were not paid for working after school. But still, we come to work. Teachers are often tasked with managing issues that are not their responsibility, like investigating, managing, and contacting parents for behavioral issues that occurred during their duty-free lunch. We go above and beyond when asked to stay beyond our contractual day to contact parents when students are chronically absent or late for arrival or pickup. And still, we come to work. The district wants teachers to provide before-school care, after-school care, and weekend school, but refuses to negotiate a fair hourly rate for that work. Now, my friends and colleagues at Trapphagen know that as a reading specialist, I am not a math person, but even I understand that that doesn't add up. And still, we come to work. We are constantly asked to build a plane while flying it, to do more for less, to go above and beyond, to make do with what we have. Like when we're expected to work in buildings where staff bathrooms leak and are unavailable for days, where lighting that causes headaches and migraines for staff and students, where doors that do not have locks to provide a safe environment, and schools do not have adequate AC where temperatures become unbearable. And still we come to work. Working in this environment takes a toll, and it wears us down. We feel bullied, disrespected, harassed, undervalued, and demoralized on a daily basis, and still we come to work. We have not had a contract in almost 2 years, and this is not the first time we've been in this situation. All the while, we're forced to watch neighboring districts negotiate fair, respectful contracts that demonstrate how they value and appreciate their teachers. We come to work because our students deserve committed educators who put them first, because we are on the front line when students need academic, emotional, psychological, and mental health support. Our work is important, but it doesn't mean that we should be expected to do it without adequate compensation. I urge you not to mistake our professionalism for weakness. The truth is the district would not be able to run without us, and that should be acknowledged. The district released a statement regarding how teachers were recognized during Teacher Appreciation Week. The superintendent said, and I quote, "These teachers are the foundation of our schools, whose commitment and passion inspire me every day." Those words are wonderful to describe us, but we hope that they translate into more than just words. The teachers here tonight, before you tonight, hope that we inspire you to negotiate a fair contract with us. That would be a concrete way to show gratitude for all we do for students. Just like it is our duty as professionals to come to work every day, despite the obstacles that are put in our way, it's the duty of the district to come to the table in good faith and negotiate a fair contract. Excuse me. We deserve at least that much consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tom Keller.
I gotta get my thing. I gotta get this out. I gotta get my notes out. All right, I don't have my glasses. Hit my glasses. Okay, I want to talk about the calendar. We're making progress on the calendar. I see that Columbus Day has been restored, although this has to be voted on. Thank you. Secondly, just a minor thing, but Indigenous Peoples Day, the day after Thanksgiving, I would prefer Native Americans. Indigenous peoples are all over the world. The people that were here are Native Americans. Also, on Election Day, it's unfair for incumbents to have to go to a meeting at 6:30. I'm out there campaigning for people until 9 o'clock. They should be allowed to campaign till 9 and have the meeting the next day, Wednesday. We don't need a meeting on Election Day the next day. Secondly here, it's probably too late in the year, but it would be nice if you had professional development day at the high school, so all the other 10 schools where we vote wouldn't have school there. It'd make it easier. But it's late in the year, and maybe that's not doable. Okay, the Lunar New Year, otherwise known as the Chinese New Year. We're not New York City. We don't need this. There's a couple of Chinese restaurants in Fleetwood, and there was one by the Chase Building. We don't need the Chinese New Year as a day to have off. Cut it out. Also, we have a day off for the ending of Ramadan. By the way, just going back to the Chinese New Year, Communist China is our #1 enemy in the world. Why are we giving Chinese people the day? Why are we giving people a day off? Because it's Chinese New Year.
Mr. Keller, please. Excuse me, everyone. Excuse me. If you could have quiet in the room, please. Mr. Keller, I have to warn you about your public speaking. It's borderline racist.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. All right.
Mr. Keller, again, Mr. Keller, do you have anything else to say that is school business?
Yes. March 31st, the end of Ramadan, schools are closed. Do you know that the Pew organization took a poll about 10 years ago throughout the world? Muslims were asked, do you believe in the Muslim Brotherhood? 50% believed.
Mr. Keller, we are public school. Mr. Keller, I have to cut you. Your time is up.
They've murdered many, many black Christians
Mr.
in
Keller,
Africa.
your time is up.
Why are you giving them a day off?
Mr. Keller, this is a public school. This is a Mount Vernon public school district. Thank you. Your time is up. Okay. Is that okay? I would like to take a vote from the trustees to have. We have 3 more individuals who would like to speak, and I'd like to ask the the trustees publicly if you would like to continue with the public speaking. By the show of hands, let me see your hands, Warren, Sabina. Okay. So we will continue with 3 additional speakers.
David Israel.
Good evening. First off, I want to thank Trustee Mitchell. That was very admirable of you to do that for us. Thank you. Good evening. My name is David Israel. I am the treasurer of the Mount Vernon Federation of Teachers. I have stood before you several times before hoping to appeal to you. I once again stand here tonight. We are now in June of 2024. We are once again closing in on the end of another school year. Another one with no contract. Last meeting, you read a statement saying all members still received a step raise even though the contract had expired. That was incorrect. A large portion of our membership has not received a step increase or raise in almost 2 years. Some have not seen one in 3 years. With an increase in taxes and health insurance premium increases, many members are taking home less pay than they had in the past. Another year is coming to an end, and another budget has been adopted with a 0% increase. You all tout that this is a wonderful achievement you have done. But in reality, the continuation of this is just keeping and dooming this district financially. How can you expect to pay for services and items in 2025 with the same fiscal budget from 2021? Why did you not earmark money knowing you were 2 years into negotiating our contract? I honestly question how much results actually matter to some people when we start a school year short 100 staff members, and even though more continue to resign due to salary and other conditions, you offer a buyout to incentivize even more to retire and leave with no plan to replace them. You didn't even take those savings to put towards a contract in order to attract new teachers to replace them. When will the impact of all of this finally create change? Class sizes are rising. Every month, more people are quitting, and nothing is done to fix this. Teachers, teaching assistants, and security are even chastised for calling in sick and using their own sick days, one of the few benefits they still have in an expired contract. If the children really matter, then help us help them. Help us not only keep good professionals, but also attract new ones. I once again ask you to prioritize those that impact students every day.
Cassandra Grant.
Thank you. Good evening. To the acting superintendent, Dr. Smith, and all board members. My name is Cassandra Marie Grant. I was born and raised in Mount Vernon, and I am an MBHS graduate from the class of 1990. By the end of this school year, I will have completed 28 years of teaching English at the secondary level solely in the Mount Vernon City School District. I began my teaching career at my former middle school named A.B. Davis Middle School, and I am currently teaching at Mount Vernon High School. I made the final decision to become an English teacher while sitting in my 11th grade English class taught by Mrs. Warrens. I looked up from the book we were reading in class entitled Black Boy by Richard Wright, and with a smile on my face, I said to myself, this is what I want to do with my life, and I want to come back to my hometown to do it. I was also influenced by my beloved mom, who was also a secondary English teacher at Wagner Junior High School in New York City for almost 40 years. Furthermore, it was because of the impact of the amazing teachers I had beginning at Trapphagen Elementary School, Ms. Cohen, my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Fields, my 5th grade teacher, Mr. Hopkins, my 6th grade teacher, and my teachers in A.B. Davis Middle School, the daughter of my kindergarten teacher, Ms. Cohen, my social studies teacher, Madame Marks, my French teacher, and Mrs. Caraccio, my English teacher. And finally, my teachers from Mount Vernon High School, Mrs. Trotta, my 10th grade English teacher, Mrs. Warnes, my 11th grade English teacher, Mrs. Annunziata, my 12th grade English teacher, and Mr. Aronson, my 9th grade math teacher. I could go on and on. As you can see, teachers make an impact and are vital to the development of their students. We impact our students academically and socially and try our best to help nurture them to become successful, productive, functional adults in the world we live in. Our job is not an easy one. We spend countless hours preparing our lessons and wearing so many hats proudly as we try our best to give our students all the support they need, which often goes beyond our contractual hours. But we do this unselfishly and often forfeiting the proper care we need to give to ourselves and our loved ones. However, we still try to encourage our students, empower them, and guide them so that they will be prepared for their future endeavors and be equipped to build happy, healthy careers and lives for themselves and their future families. It is for these reasons that we deserve a competitive contract that is long overdue. We try to ensure that our students' basic needs are met, as well as their academic and social emotional needs. Now, we are asking for you to meet our basic needs with a competitive contract that is commensurate with the ever-increasing cost of living in this challenging world we live in. We are confident that you can find a way to make this happen for us. I know of several teachers who are currently seeking employment in other districts because they can no longer afford to take care of their families on this current pay scale. It's unfortunate that the ones who will suffer the most are the students in this district. They will miss out on building relationships with their teachers and receiving the highest quality of instruction and care because these teachers will be fleeing the district in droves to seek employment in other districts that offer competitive salaries. If our students are valued and matter, then those who educate them should feel valued too. By settling on a competitive contract now, that action would speak volumes of how much we are valued for our hard work and dedication to the students in Mount Vernon. Summer is upon us. Are you willing to continue to lose excellent teachers and other valuable staff members? Now would be the perfect time to settle this contract and retain the teachers and staff you already have. As I close, I would just like to share these same words of encouragement with the amazing staff members of this great district, of this great school district that my beloved father, the late Reverend Dr. Clarence P. Grant, former pastor of the Convent Avenue Baptist Church in Harlem, New York, shared with his flock to encourage them.
Ms. Grant.
And I quote, let me just say this, please. Let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. Thank you for the opportunity to share my concerns. Good night, and God bless all of you.
Erica Peterson.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Erica Peterson. Unfortunately, I didn't write up anything because I thought I was on the hold list till the 18th. A few things. I see I want to congratulate our administrators and staff who are receiving their tenure tonight. I have noticed that many of you have not been clapping as the teachers have spoken. And I want you to remember that many of you once were in those blue shirts as well. So I think we need to remember that, and we need to not, now that you all are administrators who I adore, don't forget where you came from. Second, the calendar. I want to talk about the calendar, not like Mr. Tom talked about it, but I am a proud citizen of the Nottoway Indian Tribe of Virginia. Moving Indigenous Day to the day after Thanksgiving is the most insensitive, culturally unaware action a school district could have done. I implore any of you to read a college level, advanced level history book to know what happened to my ancestors on that day and from beyond. Thanksgiving to me as a Native American symbolizes my ancestors being murdered, raped, our land stolen from us. That's what the day of Thanksgiving and after mean to us. It's not a day of celebration for us. So whoever made that decision to bow down to the small group of racist people in this city who you don't want to ruffle their feathers because you know we need those zero tax increase votes is deplorable. You have citizens, you have children in this district who are Native American. You have families in this city who are Native Americans. I implore you to pick up and read a history book to know what happened to my ancestors during Thanksgiving and afterwards. That is the invitation of colonization in this country. That's not a day of celebration for us. I beg of you to please, before you agree to vote on that calendar tonight, to read, because that is no celebration for my ancestors. And it is disrespectful to people like myself, my children, and other members of Native American tribes in this country who were here first. And we were here so we can celebrate Chinese New Year's Day and Eid, Ramadan, and everything else, Mr. Keller.
And that ends our public comment. Thank you. We're going to move on to our awards. Has the room.
Good evening, everyone. This award will go to the Principal of the Year in recognition of your ability to create a learning environment conducive to student academic success for the 23-24 school year. So this will go to to Dr. Melissa White.
Take a picture real quick. Take a picture real quick. Oh Thank you.
The second award is called the Nightlight Award. It goes to, or it reads, for her outstanding contributions to the Mount Vernon City School District and the students of the state of New York and the nation. She will be forever remembered for her unwavering commitment to social justice, equality, and equity in education. Her commitment to education and our children was always a labor of love. A quote, "You can only become truly accomplished doing something you love. Don't make money your goal. Instead, pursue the things you love doing and then do them so well that people can't take their eyes off of you." Maya Angelou. And the Nightlight Award goes to Mary Beth Rhodes.
Thank you very much.
That's for us. Wait. So that everyone will have an opportunity to be present during the June 18th award, June 18th, teachers or PPS or teachers' assistants will receive one award per school during our next meeting. Thank you.
I'm gonna call Justin. Yeah. Good evening. Today we acknowledge and celebrate our teaching assistants, teachers, and administrators who have dedicated themselves to the students and their families over the past 4 years, most of which came into their current roles when this district, along with the rest of the world, was facing uncertainty and formidable challenges, to say the least, during the global pandemic. In fact, I recall earning my tenure through Zoom back in 2020. Let's take a moment to appreciate how far we have come together as a community since then and acknowledge the work we all have done for our kids and the work we continue to do together to build a better Mount Vernon. With that being said, let us welcome and celebrate the new tenured cohort of 2024.
So this one would be BT.
Yeah. So we'll start with our, excuse me, going out of order now. All right, go back up. Please hold. One second.
Sorry for that. The board members would need to vote on the tabs before they're presented, so bear with us.
Yeah, we have to do the resolution before we call them out. Right, so, I mean, you want to do it now? Yeah, we're going to do the resolution now. Yeah, oh, yeah, that's fine. No. That's why I'm waiting for everybody. So, okay. All right, trustees, we're going to vote on this resolution first, okay?
So, can I have a motion? Can I have a motion for 8.1, Human Resources 105A, certified?
Motion.
Question?
Questions, concerns, discussion?
Just a quick question. On these 181, the last part of the resolution has an abolishing of a position. Can we just have a confirmation, when we're abolishing a position, what exactly does that mean again?
So as we discussed previously, there's several positions that we are abolishing due to budget constraints. It could possibly be voted on at a later date, but for right now, it won't be a part of our 24-25 school year.
So that would say that the services that this position renders to the district are no longer needed, correct?
No, it does not say that.
No, I didn't say it. No, it doesn't say it. I said, does it mean that? If we're abolishing, I'm imagining the services that position offers would be no longer needed if we're abolishing it. No?
It will be assumed by other individuals.
So, okay, so secondary curriculum instruction and school improvement position responsibilities will be going to someone else, correct?
Correct.
I'm just conflicted because this is an item as part of the tenureship documentation, and I feel like it probably could have been separate. Everybody on here that's getting tenureship deserves their tenure. I'm conflicted with this one part.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain?
Abstain.
Who's that? I have. That means it's held. Why are we? This is for the tenure. For the tenure. Yeah. Why are you abstaining? This is for the tenure tab.
Okay, so,
What are they confused about?
okay, so, I'm sorry, the vote failed, so,
Wait, let me.
just give us a minute, please.
We can't go back and vote on it if it fails tonight, so.
So we have to,
No, I didn't say it failed yet, so you tell me. Is that what we want to do? Okay, I didn't get their vote though, so let me get.
There's a thing.
Okay, I want to make sure, because I don't have it logged.
Didn't you not hear that?
I did. I don't have it logged properly yet though, so
Ask them-
let
ask
me
again,
make sure.
Ask again.
Okay.
Ask again.
Lynn? You abstain?
No, go publicly.
Okay.
Go publicly.
All in favor? Okay.
Aye.
All, any opposed? Abstain?
Abstain.
Okay. Yes, we're going to make sure, okay? Okay, I have 2 of you that abstained. 3. You did? 3, okay. Okay. So motion fails. We cannot do that tonight.
Motion failed. So, you want to separate it? Okay, we're going to pause this particular resolution and come back to it. So if you could move forward, please. For right now, that resolution failed, so we're probably going to separate it and then move forward, if we can.
That's not something we can do. That's not something. What about the others? The other, that was born on tenure people? That was born on tenure people? So then we're gonna put it on for the 18th. So we can put it on for the 18th.
Yeah,
So what
unless you
what
call
we
a
tell them?
special. I
So
don't
what we
know.
tell them?
The motion failed, and it'll be on for the next meeting.
So, excuse me, the motion failed, so what we're going to do is put it on for the next meeting.
What did he say? No. But, you know, this is so unfair. It's terrible. All right, they're really going to do that this now.
So, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. What we're going to do, we're going to pause for executive session. If you could just bear with us, please. We will pause for executive session and come back probably about 15 to 30 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, please. Thank you.
Can I have a motion to enter back into public session?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstain? Okay. Motion carries. Okay. Go ahead, trustee.
Madam President, I'd like to offer a motion to reconsider tab 8.1.
Okay. Back on the floor.
Okay, I'm going to bring back 8.1 to the floor. Can I have a motion?
I second it.
All right. So I'm going to bring back 8.1 to the floor. Human Resources 105A, certified.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain?
Abstain.
Any more abstain? Motion carries.
Well, all right then. The moment we've been waiting for. First, we'll start with our administrators. Mr. Mark Molina. It's a skeleton. He was here. All right. Yeah. Dr. Pauline Pierce.
Are we supposed to cheer?
And Miss Erica Norton.
All right, Erica.
Miss Jacqueline Green. Mr. Greg Casey. We'll just. So next we'll start with our teachers. Oh, my bad. Miss Mendoza, come on down. Give me a... I'm sorry.
Benjamin Turner. Jessica Pizzini. Denzel Washington. Who's here from?
Lauren.
No, no. Where's it from? No one from. Okay. Lauren. Hurtado. Alejandro Ramirez. Valerie Samuels. Brian, no. Alexis Trotman. Lincoln.
Tripping all over the place. Okay. Christine, no workers' comp. Christine Cosmo Giannis. Of course. Stephanie Pedro. She left. She left. Mm-hmm. She's not here tonight. And Nina Stark. Thank you.
Thank you. Mount Vernon High School. All of them? All of them? Yes. They left. You can call the name.
All right, good evening, everyone. A huge congratulations to Miss Marguerite Fariello, our speech and pathologist teacher. Our school counselor, Miss Princess Fuller. Math teacher, Miss Rebecca Gonzalez. And another math teacher, Miss Sandra Noor. Congratulations to them all.
You want to fold it?
Thank you.
Honor Academy. Anna Maria Oliveira. STEAM, is Dr. Pierce still here? left.
Stephen Glinius. Congratulations. Correct. Rebecca Guziak. Amberly Jimenez. Elizabeth Clippert. Jenny Oliva. Mandela, Nelson Mandela. Beverly Buchanan from Nelson Mandela. And William DeMorris. Pennington.
So we have, first up, Jared Dendy. Jacqueline Diaz. Victoria Estatico. Diane McKay. Charlene Mullings. Elizabeth Smith. And Tiffany Wright.
That concludes the tenure piece.
No.
Okay, this is for Graham. She's not here right now. Well, I'm here. Christine Bergens. Congratulations.
Where you guys going?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We did it.
I'm not even gonna.
Boy, we can clear room, can't we? Yeah, they come do what they gotta do and they leave. Yeah. Or at least the occupancy is larger.
Okay, we're going to move along with our agenda, and we're going to go to superintendent's reports.
You ready? Rita, I can go ahead. Good evening, Mount Vernon. In regards to the MVFT, As Melvin Campbell indicated, we are family. I truly dislike the tension from the negotiations. This too shall pass, and we will get through this, because we are one Mount Vernon. Thank you for the work that you do. We appreciate you. Today, Mount Vernon's very own Denzel Washington was well received at the Denzel Washington School for the Arts. He met with our honor students in the atrium. He observed student performances. Thereafter, there was a photo opportunity for board members, administrators, staff, and students. Time was very short for this surprise visit, but the students were all delighted to see him. Kudos goes to Andrea Thomas, Yvonne Wright, Angela Hall, staff, and students. In regards to the Jazz Festival, the first Jazz Festival was held this past Thursday and Friday evening. It was wonderful. What made this event particularly special is the fact that it represented students throughout the district. It wasn't just the Denzel Washington students. You saw students perform from various buildings, Mount Vernon High School, Holmes, the Honor Academy. It was a wonderful presentation of the talent that we have within the district. So thank you goes again to Angela Hall and the Denzel Washington School for the Arts. Also, this past Saturday, there was a health fair. The health fair was scheduled at the Honor Academy, and that too was a tremendous success. Over 2,000 people came out to spend time with the superheroes. Students had a great time as they played in bouncy houses, ate food, and cotton candy. A special thanks goes to the principal, Ms. Daniel Davis Marrow, for her hospitality, to Dr. Beverly Jones for the coordination of this event, as well as the parent liaisons. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This Thursday, there's going to be a sports awards night, and I look forward to attending this sports award on Thursday, and it'll be commencing at 6 p.m. at the Mount Vernon High School. Thank you.
Now move on to committee reports.
So I know Trustee Maribel had just joined, so I know you haven't been assigned to any committee yet. But so now I'll go on to Trustee Middleton. Any committee report?
I just want to say kudos to Dr. Jones, who has done a tremendous and a fabulous job with the parent liaisons, and for our coming together when we did to meet, read the Super Mental Health Wellness Day, and just to put everything together. Everybody was on one accord. Love the committee, love the parent liaisons. You have done a tremendous and a wonderful job all year long, not just for that particular activity, but all year long, and it's just been a pleasure serving with you. And I want to say I did stop by June 1st, and it was phenomenal. And the work and the effort that you put into it showed much by everyone that attended it. And I brought people from Georgia there who was really amazed at what you were doing. And I just want to say kudos to you. Keep up the good work. And Dr. Jones, I just want to applaud you for the wonderful job that you have done and you continue to do as you sit where you sit. You have been a true and a tremendous blessing. And there's good things in store for you ahead. So that's all I have to say. And listen, I pray, my prayer is that we do move forward in July 1st, starting July 1st, better than we have not.
Thank you, Trustee Jenga.
No.
Trustee Sanders?
I don't have anything right now. The policy committee met yesterday, but there's some updates that we're working on, and we will present that at a further date.
Thank you. Trustee Kelly? No. Trustee Mitchell?
Okay, so the Security Committee had a meeting last week. We talked about a lot of different things. We've been covering a lot. It takes a lot to get certain things done, and it takes the foot on the gas the entire time. It doesn't, and sometimes your foot has to be to the metal just to get something as simple as a desk for a security guard to sit at, or a vestibule with a plastic partition. It's just something simple for them to be able to do their job effectively. So thanks to Mr. Ramundi and Trustee Jenga, Trustee Maribel, who were on the call. Definitely was good energy, lots of good questions. We covered several different things, but I'm going to ask, I know I talked to Mr. Ramundi, he's going to give me a breakdown on the company's services that we use for our surveillance. We've got cameras in, is it all our buildings now? We have cameras that are up and running in all our buildings. We question the fact to make sure that the security guards have access to those streaming security footage at all times, just to make sure that everybody has eyes on. I'm going to be brief about buildings and grounds, but I'm going to first touch on food services. We did a walkthrough at a couple of buildings this week, Mr. Ramundi and myself, just looking and assessing broken equipment in the district, things that we need to address. This is also ongoing, and I promise you that if it's not with consistent, persistent energy, things take forever to get done. A set of spoons can take 6 months to get, if we're not, even if we're foot on all the way down to the floor. So we talked about some broken equipment, some service contract companies that we're looking into, things like that. We got more schools to go to, so you'll be seeing me back. And I would be remiss if I didn't shout out parent liaisons today, as I always do, because you guys are very important, you're very crucial, and I appreciate, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that appreciates everything that you guys do. So thank you very much, parent liaisons, because you are actually a lifeblood for our school district between our parents, students, and us. And I'm going to also, definitely shout out Dr. Jones for only one of the things is parent liaison. So many other things that Dr. Jones does for this district that are just too many to count right now. Buildings and grounds, there's a lot of things going on. Again, we're still continuing the in-house work ethic, trying to get things done without spending tons of money outside. I'm not going to go through the list because it's a lot right now, and I think we've been here long already. That's all I have today.
Thank you. And I don't have anything from the Budget Committee. We're going to move right along with the agenda.
Follow up in old business.
Sorry about that. Good evening again. I'm responding to several questions. The first one being, does the city building department inspect work done in the school district? The response, the city building department has no jurisdiction authority over the school district, so they do not inspect any work done in the school district. All work that requires inspection is done by the New York State Education Department. Question, we say we perform a lot of work in-house. How do we know it's being performed correctly? Response, all in-house work is classified as maintenance and upkeep. The district has certified maintenance mechanics and a foreman qualified to perform such work. In the past, the district has called outside vendors to perform these scope of work at a higher rate. If there are scopes of work that the district employees cannot safely or adequately perform, the district uses certified authorized vendors. Question, how does a vendor do business in the school district? Vendors who are approved to perform work within any school district or municipality must meet the state and county criteria. Annual bids and RFPs are published by organizations such as OGS, EdData, and BOCES, which properly vets these vendors for appropriate certification, licenses, insurance, and bonding. These winning bidders are then approved to be contracted by school districts and municipalities. Occasionally, school districts and municipalities can issue bids and RFPs to solicit specific scope of work outside of the named organization. Question: how does one become a vendor in the district? Is there a step-by-step guide on how to do business with the district? 1, vendors fill out vendor form packages. That's the W-9 ACH contact information. 2, they give a brief description of their services provided. 3, government status. They should be a WBE, a MBE, a SLBE, etc. Vendor information is put into and uploaded to the system. Lastly, they are listed by category on the system for service. That concludes the questions that was received at the last board member. Thank you.
Okay. We're going to go on to our resolutions. We're back to Human Resources 8.2. Can I have a motion to approval of Human Resources Resolution non-certified?
Motion.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. We have a motion for 9.1, approval for football team to travel to Piscataway, New Jersey for Rutgers football camp.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. We have a motion for 9.1, authorization to amend the resolution to pay gifted and talented staff for admission, 9.2, staff for admission testing, scoring, and selection.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. We have a motion for 9.3, authorization to hire staff for the Mount Vernon Aquatic Facility.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussion?
Question. I'm just behind. Do we still have the relationship with, I think it was Bronx Swim? Weren't they giving us, I'm saying their name wrong. I remember in the past that they were also providing some sort of swim service to us at some point in the past years. Am I wrong?
Check. Okay. Bronx Swim uses our facilities for their swim program. They've done that in the past. I don't know if there was an exchange of services in the past, but I do know they do use our facilities.
So they never provided any services to us at all?
I'm not exactly sure. I can find out for you.
Okay. That was another way. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Abstain.
Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 10.1, authorization to hire staff for summer school for K-6 students from July 8th to August 1st?
Motion.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 10.2, authorization to hire staff for summer bridge programs from August 5th to the 15th? Questions, concerns, discussions?
Question. I think my notes. Matter of fact, no, never mind.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Warren, you abstain? Yeah. Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 10.3, authorization for Mount Vernon STEAM Academy students to participate in Lehman College summer program? Motion.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions?
Question. How were the students chosen that are going to participate in this program?
Let's go. Oh.
So the students in the Lehman program starts with 9th grade. So if you know, at STEAM Academy, they have the different pathway. So those are the biomedical students. They start in 9th grade, and the professors from Lehman come in, and those students who are in the biomedical pathways are the one part of this program.
So it's the students on the biomed track?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 10.4, authorization to hire staff for summer school for grades 7 to 12 students from July 8 to August 15? Second. Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 11.1, approval of student services, pupil personnel services memorandum number 19, dated June 4th, 2024? Second. Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 12.1, approval of general funds transfer purchase order increases for 2023-2024, June 4th, 2024?
Motion.
Questions, concerns, discussions?
Question. So we're moving money from accounts for teachers' salaries and curriculum and instruction to the tune of $129,000 to legal contractor services. Can I have the understanding how those two type of expenses correlate and speak to each other, where we should be, that the first question is, how do they correlate to each other where we should be transferring funds from those two different entities?
Hello. So first, thank you for allowing me to be here. I'm filling in for the Assistant Superintendent for Business. So thank you, Dr. Kim and the board. It's fairly common when you do budget transfers to move it from, especially at the end of the year, when you notice that those funds aren't going to be used, to then move them to lines that are short. So
that's
as we approach to the end of the year, you're going to see that it's common, and you'll see it more often.
Yeah, I guess my concern is that would say that there were actually funds left from teachers' salaries and curriculum instruction that we didn't need to use.
It could be possible depending on how it was done. So you could have an account line where we were holding funds in that line, and then that person either left and wasn't replaced, or they moved to another building, and then there's funds available in that account code. So it all depends on what occurs throughout the year.
And the second part of the question is the budget from 2000 that passed for 23-24, if I'm not mistaken, it showed the legal budget was $973,000. if we're moving these monies now from those two entities to legal, that would say that we blew through the whole 973,000 and now we have to move money. Yes?
That would say that in order to close out the year, yes, we're going to look to move money.
So that would say we under budgeted, what we presented to the people was under budgeted, right? I would imagine.
Yes, but to budget legal, that is normally, when you budget a legal expense, you don't know in the beginning of the year the exact cost. So it's very likely it could either come in under or it could come in slightly over, because that's at a moment in time that you're budgeting your legals.
Okay. All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All in favor? Oppose? Abstain?
Abstain.
Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 12.2 to accept the donation from the Tisch Foundation, Inc. to the Mount Vernon High School Seniors Award Fund?
Motion. Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor? Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 12.3, authorize the insurance of a tax anticipation note?
Second. Can we, got a question?
Questions, concerns, discussions?
Can we just have a simple explanation for the millions at home watching, what is a TAN?
Sure. So a TAN is a tax anticipation note. It's a short-term borrowing, typically paid back within 12 months. Usually it's used for school districts who are not receiving either all their taxes in a timely fashion. In our case, it's being used because we haven't received our full tax levy for a number of years. So you're allowed to use a TAN and go back 4 years, and the sum of that money does not include interest or penalties, but the sum of the owed taxes, you could borrow against that because you're going to be receiving the revenue in a short fashion.
This is basically a measure that we have to take because of one of several reasons, one of which what the city owes us, right?
Yes, because typically when you do the tax levy, you're expected to be made whole within that year. When that doesn't occur, you can come through some like ups and downs with the cash flow. So by doing the TAN, we now stabilize that issue.
Right, and between that and zero tax increases repeatedly would probably put us in the same spot, right? Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
All in favor? Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 12.4, authorization to appoint Oric Herron and Sutcliffe as bond counselor during the 23-24 fiscal year? Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain?
Abstain.
Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 12.5, authorization to appoint Capital Market Advisors, LLC, as physical advisors during the 23-24 fiscal year? Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain?
Abstain.
Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 12.6, authorization to amend the 23-24 adopted budget?
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions?
So I have a question. Go ahead.
I just wanted to see if we could get an explanation on that amendment.
Yeah.
To amend it.
If you could, yeah, that was my question as well.
Hello? Okay, there we go. This one is, so because we are receiving the back taxes owed, our revenues have increased this year, and we're going to be using those revenues to cover shortfalls in certain expense categories that we had budgeted. For example, transportation, charter schools, out-of-district tuition, and operations. What it's going to allow the district to do is to be able to pay it in the current fiscal year, so that next year going forward, we could do a proper budget in that case. So the good part about this is we do have the revenues to offset that. There's no tax impact when we're doing that, and we'll be able to properly close out the school year.
Any more questions? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a- One moment. Board docs. Just give us one moment. Board docs went down. All of us. We have to. Can I have a motion? I'm going to just go ahead and document everything by hand. Have a motion for authorization to accept monetary donation from Social Butterfly Enterprises?
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 13.1?
Motion.
Termination of probationary appointment. Have a motion?
Motion.
Second. Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor? All in favor? Oppose? Abstain?
Abstain.
Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 14.1? Authorize a settlement agreement on behalf of the Mount Vernon City School District.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Real quickly, before we go into executive session, and I'm sorry for being quite out of order in reference to making this point. Trustee Mitchell, you had mentioned about legal and that number. I just want to make sure that the audience understands, those that are watching, that when we speak about legal, we never really delineate, are we talking about settlement that goes to fees, or are we talking about legal fees? And oftentimes, it's been my experience that the public think that this goes to fees. And so as we move forward, we'll be able to delineate that. So when you have a question and you say, hey, this expense is for legal, we'll be able to break it down and say, well, this is, yes, it's legal. However, it went to a settlement. This is legal. However, it went to attorney fees. However, this is legal. This went to some other aspect of legal. I just want to make sure that the general public understand when you say legal, and this is an expense for legal, it is not necessarily legal fees. It might be a settlement. It might be a separation. And we'll do a better job on our end to distinguish that so we can answer that question better.
Thank you. The budget actually shows there's a line item for settlements, so you can actually see it. So in my question, it was related to fees, counsel, services. So, but I understand. Thank you for the clarity.
So motion carries for 14.1. Okay. Can I have a motion for 14.2? Authorize a settlement agreement on behalf of the Mount Vernon City School District.
Motion. Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carries. Can I have a motion to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing pending litigation, the financial history of a particular person or corporation, or matters leading to the appointment, employment, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation, and to receive legal advice on a pending matter? Motion?
So moved.
Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. We are in executive session. That's it.
Be coming back for an executive session. I want to say thank you for everyone for staying with us. I know it has been a long night, so hope everyone gets home safely, and we'll see you next time. Good night. Thank you again.